Good evening. The old man here, November 22nd, 2024. What I'd like to talk about tonight, or I guess my title for tonight, is going to be A Penny Earned is a Penny Saved. As I remember back in school, grade school, I think it was, they talked about that, and seems to me that was Benjamin Franklin that quoted that phrase, regardless of who it was. It's very important. It's something that we've gotten away from a long time ago. I think, actually it was planned. We used to be a country of savers, and now we're basically a country of debtors. And that's not really the direction we need to be going in. In fact, if you ask me, debt is slavery. And what do I mean by that? Well, every time you sign up for more debt, whether that's a car loan, house loan, personal loan, you've signed a deal with the devil, as far as I'm concerned. That person now owns you, or that entity, that bank, whatever it might be, that they own you now. They own part of your life. What I mean by that is you're going to trade hours to pay off that debt. I propose that a nation, we become savers again and not debtors. One way for that would work well would be to get paid a good interest rate at a bank, or maybe a good interest rate on a bond. But the fact of the matter is, I think those two places are the government, the bonds, and interest on a savings account, the banks, are pure evil. I choose not to deal with either one of those more than I absolutely have to. My money comes in and goes out of the bank as fast as I can. I turn it into cash. Whatever I don't need for bills, I turn into God's money, gold and silver. I make that trade every chance I get. Whether that's 2 ounces, 5 ounces, or 100 ounces, it really doesn't matter. That's a heck of a good trade any day of the week. I still can't believe people are taking that funny money, that dollar bill, that debt note, and accepting that for trade on real money, gold and silver. I'm afraid that one day you won't be able to make that trade. I'm not saying that gold and silver is going to go away. I just think there's going to be a time that people value gold and silver so much more than that dollar that they're not going to make that trade. I'm not saying that the gold and silver is going to the moon. I'm saying that the dollar will be worth nothing. Nobody's going to want to trade it for anything. I believe that day's coming. What I think we should do in the future, we need to teach kids how to save. A good way of starting that here in the near future, we got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. One way you could teach these kids, especially the grandparents, is maybe you take a pocket full of change to Thanksgiving this weekend and maybe you buy each one of them grandkids a little bank. It doesn't have to be much. Heck, you can make a bank. It might even be better yet. Kids are going to appreciate that more than they would on whatever money you spent on a bank. Something that grandpa or grandma made for them, or maybe grandpa and grandpa made for them. Maybe you put your, two heads together and come up with something cool. And just like, the little art drawings and that the grandkids make you in school, and you put them on your refrigerator and you cherish them. Well, them grandkids are the same thing. Grandpa and grandma make something for the kids, no matter what it is, doesn't matter. They know you made it for them. They'll cherish that for life. They'll take that with them to their grave if they can. And you could teach them savings just by having fun with it. Maybe you buy them a bank, you make them a bank, whatever. Take a pocket full of change. You gather them grandkids up on Thanksgiving after you eat. Instead of sitting down and watching a football game and ignoring the kids, grab them grandkids up. You take that handful of change and you look at it, you learn history. Who are the presidents on those coins? What are the portraits on the back of the coins? Look at the dates. Discuss different parts of history maybe. Just something simple, nothing too in-depth, whatever. Maybe Lincoln's our number whatever president. I don't recall what number he was. Or maybe Lincoln was the president during the Civil War. Maybe that's not a great subject for Thanksgiving, but whatever. You get my point. But had fun with it and divide it up at the end of the day, however you do that, whether it's, the value of the coins or the number of coins or whatever you do. Doesn't matter. Have fun with it. Make it last a half an hour. And by God, you'd be surprised. Them grandkids will be looking forward to it. And maybe anytime you take the time and spend with them grandkids, maybe you take them a handful of change. We all got change laying around. Christ, I got a damn cup full of change. Now, mind you, I ain't got no little grandkids, so that cup will probably go to the bank and put it through that coin machine. And over at Wildfire, they let me do the first 100 for nothing. So I'll take that $100 worth of coin and put it in my account, cash it out of my account, and the silver guy will be seeing that change money. You can bet on that. I'll turn that change into God's money, real money. Probably 65 dimes. God, I'm a sucker for pre-65 dimes. I like the quarters and the halves and the dollars too, the silver dollars too, but I'm a sucker for them dimes. At any rate, don't want to get too far off the subject. Getting them kids in the habit of saving, I think is one of the best things you can do for them. The other good part of even change and counting change and saving change is you can start to teach them math even way before you think them kids are ready to learn. You'd be surprised. And in my opinion, there's nothing more important in this world than learning math. Honestly, I make a living with math every day, believe it or not. I'm a gunsmith. I do retail firearms. But honestly, math is where it's at. Anyways, don't want to get too far off track. A lot of times we teach these kids, when they're young that, we're going to help them save for a car when they turn 16. Well, let me throw another idea at you. How about you help them save, help them come up with a budget and a plan to save up for something that's going to make them money. Maybe it will be that car or that truck that they want to buy. maybe that is going to help them make money, or they can use it directly to make money. Maybe they're running errands or whatever, but they're making money with that car rather than running around and just burning money. They're saving money or making money by having that vehicle. But for the most part, I think these kids could be learning to, even before they're 16, to learning to save, and you help them get into something like, I'm just going to use a lawnmower, for example, but there's plenty of things out there. Maybe at an age of 10 or 12, these kids, you're helping them save and they get a lawnmower, whether that be a riding lawnmower, push lawnmower, whatever, and they go out there and they start cutting lawns. Learn like what it is to be like to be a business owner. Help them come up with a budget for saving, but not only that, a budget for running their lawnmower business. How much money do they need to put away for maintenance on that lawnmower? How much money do they need to put away for gas and oil on that lawnmower? Plan ahead for them necessary things. Short term, they're going to have to plan for gasoline, of course, but maybe long term, more major repairs, and even longer term is to buy another lawnmower. How do I save for the next lawnmower? Maybe I want to have 2 lawnmowers, and I got somebody working with me that's out there, and I'm grossing twice as much, but I got a helper to pay. Now, how does that work out? It's all a very good thing, something a kid can learn, and then he turns that business. By the time he's 16, he's got a business rocking and rolling, and of course now he needs a car or needs a truck to haul his equipment. Maybe he's got a couple 0 turns, maybe 3 or 4 0 turns, and he's got 2, 3 buddies working for him. Who knows, I seen that when I was in high school. One friend of mine, he looked a lot like me. He was my same age, and he had been running a lawnmower business since he was 16. By the time we were graduating from high school, he had like 6 high school kids working for him, and this guy was making real money. When, most people are looking to get into an hourly wage, he was already figuring out how to make a good living for himself, guaranteed. A lot of people, they think, well, they focus on helping them kids get a job, and they're going to teach them how to trade their time for money, on an hourly basis. Honestly, I don't know if that's the greatest idea in the world. Maybe it is for some, I don't know. Some people, they're cut out for a 40, and that's it. That's about all they can work is a 40. And the rest of the time they want to party, play, drink, whatever, and go on vacations and whatever else. But that's going to be a tough road to hoe too. You get to be 60 years old, and now you're starting to slow down. You can't make money like you used to make money. You can't work like you used to work. And you ain't got nothing. You don't have no savings. You're dependent on that Social Security check. And honestly, if it's there, the money they pay you with ain't going to be worth much. In other words, that Social Security check ain't going to go very far. So you better have a better plan. And there again, I'll tell you what, a budget, a plan goes a long ways. Be honest, I spent most of my life winging it. And honestly, I think I could have done a lot better if I sat down and make a plan. And I'm a guy good with numbers, so it would have been a smart thing to do. But honestly, I was never taught that in school. I was never taught that by my parents. So I never did it until I realized, man, I'm working awful hard and seem to be spinning my wheels. I better sit down and figure out what the hell's going on there. I built my first budget, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm wasting so much money here and so much money there. And I could be doing a lot better saving for different things. And, I've never big credit guy, but I had a fair amount of debt. I had a house payment. I had car payments. They weren't big in either direction. One big house payment, wasn't a big car payment, but it was a payment. And honestly, I've lived through that, and that can put a pretty good squeeze on you. So I'd encourage to Teach these kids how to save. Let's be a nation of savers instead of a nation of debtors. Let's, you know, let's teach the world how to be savers, not just this country, but let's teach the world how to be savers again and get away from this fiat system. You know, across the world, there is no real money anymore. Everything's a fiat system. It's all about debt, and it's all about slavery. And that's the thing. And if you don't think you ain't a slave to the system, I tell you, it's time to wake up. If the pandemic didn't wake you up, I don't know what is. Maybe you seen there was something like, you know, something's going on, but I ain't quite got my finger on it. Well, here I'm telling you, you've been a slave. You've been a slave to the system for a long time. So have I. I actually started to wake up right around, and I've always watched politics, and I've always had my eyes open, and I don't trust politicians. I don't trust the news. And so I've always had my eyes open. Oh, I thought I had my eyes open, but I'll tell you, I learned a lot of things since Trump started running for president. Opened my eyes big time. At any rate, don't want to get too far off track. You know, teach them kids how to save. Teach them through saving from coins. That's a good place to start. But I'll tell you, I've even had times where I had somebody at work for me. You know, we drank a lot of pop at times and at work there, and not so much anymore, but we did. And I'd have a great big contractor's bag full of cans, and I'd try to give it to somebody, and they'd look at you like, I don't know, man, that's a lot of work. No, thanks, that's all right. Really? Really? That's too much work. I'll be damned. So I just, all right, I'll take them in then, no big deal. I just thought I'd help you out, do you a favor. And I took them in, and I'll tell you what, that contractor bag full of cans was over 300 cans, and I did that in 15 minutes. I just found a quick way to do it. That's one thing about me. I can always come up with a faster way to do something. Anyways, I got them 15 cans, that bag of can through there in 15 minutes. That was over 300 cans. That's $30 an hour where I come from. That's $30 in 15 minutes. Where I come from, that's $120 an hour. I don't know about you, but that ain't a bad day's rate. So here they are. They'll walk right over a $30 bill and won't even pick it up. Somebody give it to them. Oh my God, they just couldn't see the value. But even after my CPL classes, you know, it's funny how people just throw dimes away. There literally be 6, 8, 10 cans with deposits on them in the trash. And honestly, I just can't stand it. I'll pick every one of them things up, and I'll pull them out of the trash, and I'll put them in with with my contractor bag full of cans, and I'll take them to Costco, and I'll turn them cans in, and I'll take that $30 and I'll buy some real money with it, or trade it for some real money. I'll trade it for silver or gold. Obviously, it's going to take quite a few cans to buy you any amount of gold, but that's besides the point. But I'll definitely take that. I'll take that any day of the week. $120 an hour at $30 every 15 minutes. That's $120 an hour. I'll take that. You know, I'll take that all day long. So, all right. Now it seems to me I want to talk about something else. Let me see. You know, maybe after you help them find a way to save for something that makes money, you then maybe you help them save to get that car, that truck, whatever it is they need. Maybe by that time the kid's got a pretty good business going. He needs a truck to run his equipment around, and at that time, that vehicle's making him money. That vehicle's not costing him money. God only knows, you give a kid, or you help a kid get a vehicle, and from 16 to 18, that's all they're doing is running around being a jackass and burning money. It just doesn't make sense. Why don't we use this opportunity to learn them, or teach them how to save and make money instead? That's a really good time. Like I said, it's good to start them young. You really have to. If them kids are 18 years old before you really try to start teaching them something like going to work and be responsible and getting up early every day and getting to work on time, you've waited too long. They haven't got that. They haven't got it. They won't get it. You can try and beat it in their head at that point. It ain't going in. And if they can't get to work on time, they're not going to keep any good job. They'll wind up working for minimum wage somewhere. And God only knows, that ain't no living. Next thing you know, you got a 35-year-old living in your basement. Well, I think that's what I got for tonight. You guys have a great night. Like and subscribe. And if you would, leave a comment. I enjoy going through the comments every morning. In fact, a lot of them comments give me good ideas for other videos. Appreciate it, guys. Have a great night. Thank you. Bye.